It's 1:30 a.m. February 15th, 1995. Kevin Mitnick sits in his apartment in Raleigh, North Carolina, fingers flying across his keyboard. He's just finished his workout and now he's doing what he does best, disappearing into the digital shadows. But something's wrong. His back doors, secret entrances into corporate networks worth millions, are vanishing one by one. Kevin gets that sinking feeling you get when you know you're being watched. He peers through his window into the parking lot below. A U.S. Marshal stares back at him. 30 minutes later, there's a knock on his door. The voice that follows is cold, official, and carries the weight of federal authority. After nearly 3 years on the run, using fake identities, outsmarting federal agents, and pulling off the most audacious hacks in history, Kevin Mitnick, the man they called the most dangerous hacker alive, has been caught. But this isn't where our story ends. It's where it gets really interesting. Let me take you back to where it all began.
World's most famous hacker. You're the most wanted man in computer crime, correct?
Yes.
The world's most famous hacker, who I'm also proud to call my friend, Kevin Mitnick.
Because Kevin's origin story will blow your mind. Kevin Mitnick was 3 years old when his father abandoned him. Picture a little boy, watching the most important person in his life walk away forever. His mother, barely scraping by as a waitress, worked double shifts just to put food on the table. Kevin spent countless hours alone. And that's when he discovered something that would change the world. Magic. Not pulling rabbits from hats. Something far more dangerous. The magic of making people believe whatever you want them to believe. At 12 years old, Kevin made his first hack. But here's the kicker. It wasn't on a computer. It was on the Los Angeles bus system. He'd fish blank punch cards from dumpsters, create his own tickets, and ride for free across the entire city. Think about that. A 12-year-old kid just figured out how to beat a system that thousands of adults used every day. And nobody caught him. That's when Kevin realized something terrifying. Most people don't question what looks normal. By high school, Kevin had moved on to bigger targets. He discovered phone phreaking, hacking telephone networks. But Kevin wasn't content with making free calls. He wanted to own the entire system. Picture this scene. It's past midnight at Pacific Bell, one of California's biggest phone companies. A tired employee sits at his desk when his phone rings. The voice on the other end sounds confident, professional, like someone who belongs. "Hey, this is Mike from the downtown office. I need you to reset the access codes for the Cosmos system." Cosmos, the computer system that controlled phone service for millions of people. The employee doesn't hesitate. Mike sounds like he knows what he's talking about. The codes are handed over, without question. In that moment, Kevin Mitnick, still just 17 years old, has been given the keys to control telephone service across California. Within hours, Kevin could listen to anyone's calls, redirect phone lines, even crash entire networks. He had become more powerful than the executives who ran the company, but he wanted more. Here's where Kevin pulls off something so audacious, so impossible, that even today security experts study it in disbelief. Kevin wants Pacific Bell's most classified documents, the manuals that explain exactly how their entire system works. These documents are locked in a secure facility, protected by guards, cameras, and multiple layers of security. How does Kevin get them? He walks through the front door. No explosives, no high-tech gadgets, no Ocean's 11-style acrobatics. Kevin shows up with two friends and approaches the security guard. This massive guy, probably ex-military, trained to spot threats, barely looks up from his newspaper when Kevin speaks. "Hey, just showing some friends around the office tonight." The guard glances up briefly, already reaching for the sign-in sheet. No ID check, no phone calls, no verification, just a simple response that changes everything. Sure, just sign in. That's it. Kevin and his friends walk out with armloads of documents that contain Pacific Bell's deepest secrets. The entire operation took less than an hour. The guard never even looked up from his paper. But every legend has their kryptonite. And Kevin's was something he never saw coming. The people he trusted most. Kevin's hacking partner, Lenny, loses a $150 bet and refuses to pay. Now, most people would just write it off. But Kevin isn't most people. Kevin starts his revenge campaign with a series of phone calls to Lenny's workplace, using his most official voice. Kevin transforms into Agent Johnson from the IRS, hunting Leonard DeChico for tax evasion. Lenny's boss starts asking questions. Lenny panics, and then Lenny does the unthinkable. He walks into his boss's office and confesses everything. The late-night hacking sessions, the stolen source code from Digital Equipment Corporation, the complete compromise of their systems, all of it. When the FBI shows up to arrest Kevin, Lenny is there, watching from across the street. But he's not hiding in shame or regret. He's literally dancing with joy. Your best friend, the person who knew all your secrets, dancing as they drag you away in handcuffs. The betrayal cuts deeper than any prison sentence ever could. The media goes absolutely insane. Kevin Mitnick becomes the face of every parent's nightmare about computers and the internet. In court, the prosecutor stands and makes a claim so outrageous, so completely ridiculous, that it would be funny if it wasn't ruining Kevin's life. With complete conviction, he tells the judge that Kevin Mitnick can whistle into a telephone and launch a nuclear missile from NORAD. Whistle into a phone. To launch nuclear weapons. The judge, absolutely terrified of this supposed cyber terrorist, sentences Kevin to 8 months in solitary confinement, the same punishment they give to murderers and terrorists. Kevin sits alone in a concrete cell, 23 hours a day, wondering how making free phone calls turned him into the digital equivalent of Osama bin Laden. Meanwhile, something else is happening. Something that will make Kevin's techniques look like child's play. It's 2008. Somewhere, someone is scrolling through MySpace, checking out their friends' posts, when they see something that makes them smile. It appears to be from Sarah, a friend they've known since middle school.
OMG! Sarah, you have to see this video of you from last weekend. You look hilarious. Click here.
Sarah, who would never lie to them. Sarah, who they trust completely. They click. The page looks exactly like YouTube. It's asking them to update their video player. Something they've done 1,000 times before. Nothing suspicious at all. They click Update. In that instant, faster than they can blink, their computer becomes a soldier in an invisible army. They've just joined something called the Koobface botnet, and they have no idea their life has just changed forever. Here's where this gets absolutely insane. Every time this person searches Google, their results are secretly filtered through criminal servers. Every ad they click puts money in criminal pockets. Every video they watch generates revenue for people they'll never meet, in countries they'll never visit. And they have no idea it's happening. The Koobface criminals are making an estimated $38,000 every single week from computers just like this one and millions of others. That's nearly $2 million a year from invisible crimes their victims don't even know they're helping commit. But the criminals aren't done yet. A few weeks later, that same person's computer starts running slow. Pop-ups keep appearing. Frustration builds. Then they see it. A professional-looking alert that stops them cold. Warning! Your computer is infected with 47 viruses. Your personal information is at risk. Click here to scan now. Fear takes over. Their computer is acting weird. This antivirus company seems legitimate. They need help. They pay $49.99 for premium protection software. Here's the kicker. They just paid the same criminals who infected their computer in the first place. The antivirus software does absolutely nothing except steal their credit card information. They've been robbed twice by the same people, and they thank them for it. But the criminal's most ingenious trick will make your jaw drop. Those annoying CAPTCHA tests. The squiggly letters websites make you type to prove you're human. We're blocking the criminals from creating thousands of fake accounts, so they turned their victims into an unpaid workforce. Infected computers would display CAPTCHAs disguised as security updates. Victims would see messages claiming, "To protect your computer, please verify these security letters." Victims would carefully type in the letters, thinking they were protecting themselves. In reality, they were helping criminals create fake accounts to spread more infections. The criminals had weaponized human helpfulness itself. Meanwhile, something Kevin would have never expected was happening. The FBI was struggling to catch these new criminals. Their techniques were too advanced, their networks too distributed. So they did something unprecedented. They asked for help from the same community that had idolized Kevin Mitnick. Cybersecurity experts around the world started hunting Koobface like it was a game. They traced data flows, analyzed malware samples, and slowly pieced together the puzzle. The breakthrough came from something beautifully ironic. The criminals got sloppy with their own digital security. A misconfigured server leaked logs showing exactly how their operation worked. But the real smoking gun was hidden in plain sight. Every image the criminals uploaded to customize their fake websites contained metadata, hidden information including GPS coordinates, camera serial numbers, and even personal details. Investigators found names, addresses, photos of the criminals themselves. The group, dubbed Alibaba and the Four, had made the same mistake that brought down Kevin Mitnick. They couldn't resist bragging about their success on social media. Their Facebook profiles painted detailed pictures of their lives. Their Instagram photos were geotagged with locations. Their Twitter accounts revealed their associates and hangouts. The very social networks they had weaponized provided a complete dossier of their crimes. As law enforcement closed in, something strange happened. In 2010, every Koobface command server went dark simultaneously. No goodbye message, no final score, no dramatic arrest. The criminals simply vanished. To this day, nobody knows exactly what happened to them. Did they scatter? Did they get arrested quietly? Are they still out there, running new scams under different names? The mystery remains unsolved. But Kevin Mitnick's story had a very different ending. When Kevin walked out of prison in 2000, something incredible happened. The same government that had painted him as a digital terrorist came knocking on his door, not with handcuffs, but with a job offer. They needed his help. Kevin had proved something that changed cybersecurity forever. The most sophisticated technical defenses are useless if you can trick the human using them. Companies were spending millions on firewalls and encryption, but Kevin could bypass it all with a phone call and a fake name. Kevin Mitnick became the world's most trusted cybersecurity consultant. Former enemies became clients. Government agencies that once hunted him now paid for his advice. The man who once hid in digital shadows now stood in boardrooms, explaining to CEOs how easily their companies could be compromised. And his message was always the same. Your greatest vulnerability isn't your technology. It's your people. Right now, as you hear this story, someone somewhere is getting a message from a friend asking them to click a link. Someone is answering their phone to hear a technician explain they need a password to fix a problem. Someone is holding the door open for a person with a fake badge who claims they just want to deliver a package. The techniques evolve. The technology advances. But the fundamental vulnerability remains the same. We want to trust. We want to help. We want to believe that people are who they say they are. And somewhere in the digital shadows, the next Kevin Mitnick is counting on exactly that. The ghost in the machine was never the code. It was never the viruses or the botnets or the sophisticated attacks. The ghost in the machine was US, and it always has been. The question isn't whether you'll encounter the next Kevin Mitnick or Koobface. The question is, will you recognize them when you do? Because in the end, we're all just one click, one phone call, one moment of trust away from becoming part of someone else's perfect crime. If this blew your mind, hit subscribe, smash that like button, and share it with someone who needs to see this.